Yay Networks.
Hi guys, this is Kary.
And this is Kam.
And thank you for joining us. We're so excited to do this little podcast with all of you.
And we're so excited for you guys to get to know the real us. I know you only get to see a glimpse of us on the show, so we really want you guys to get to hang with us.
Yes, we want to talk about fashion, kids, health, anything that's going on in our lives.
And family and husbands.
Yeah, so tune in and, let's have some fun.
And girl talk.
Hi guys, welcome back to Kam and Kary to Dallas.
Hey guys, so excited to see you. And guess what, guys? Today is our 50th episode that we are recording. We're so excited.
We are so excited. I cannot believe it's been 50.
I have a Mambo Taxi in honor of it, and I offered to split it with Kary, but she wants me to drink the whole thing.
Okay,
so now
let me have a sip.
Yes, have a sip, please. We both, have had COVID, so we're not afraid anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Since it's our 50th, you didn't give me that memo of a Mambo Taxi, by the way.
I know.
I didn't tell me
on it.
Oh, okay.
It's a last minute thing.
I know, of course. Kam and her free balling it.
I know. Gosh.
She loves those balls.
Yeah. But in honor of our 50th episode, we have a special guest.
Yes. So we want to introduce Adam Cohen-Aslatei. Is a 10-year dating industry vet, having worked for the Meet Group Spark Network, and he served as the managing director for Chappy, which is Bumble's gay dating app. He built his first dating website as a graduate student at Harvard in 2008 and is known for his brand-first approach to business development. Adam is the CEO of S'mores, the world's first anti-superficial relationship app. Think love is blind in an app. S'more has become the number 5 most recommended app in the App Store in just 18 months. That's amazing. S'mores also produced celebrity dating show on Instagram called S'mores Live with over 10 million viewers, which Kam and me have been honored to be included in that app. So welcome, Adam, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited for this. The pink screen and everything. This is amazing.
I know. Well, and it's an honor of, love. And today it is like a celebration of love because we're just in love with our podcast. So
number 50, huge, guys. That's amazing. Who has been your best guest so far? Your most controversial and your most favorite.
Oh, okay. I would say controversial could have been that, or we had like a couple sex therapists.
Yes.
And that was pretty amazing. They taught us how to, more Cameron, because I was pretty good at it already.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
But what was the main thing that you wanted to learn? Just say it.
I don't know, but there was a
how
lot
to give a blowjob, how to give a really good blowjob. We learned how to give a blowjob with a little like vibrator. You put vibrator.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, what was it called?
I still haven't bought it, by the way.
What was it called?
Was it a bullet?
The bullet.
Bullet.
Yeah, we got Cameron to make a list of all the, bullets. And we learned.
Did you try any of the suggestions on court? And what happened?
Have you tried it yet?
I have not tried.
Boyfriend?
I have not tried the bullet. I still haven't figured out how to squirt, which is my,
God, no, she said you can't. She said you can't do it. She said that's impossible.
I know, me and Cameron really were asking about.
I did not want to do that. She did.
I did, because we felt very left out.
No, I did
not. Oh my God. Wow, this thing got graphic fast.
Very graphic.
You have no idea. Our podcast is very interesting sometimes.
Yes. A lot of my friends here in the neighborhood, I hope don't listen. I might get kicked out of the neighborhood.
And we just talk about anything, and we just hope that no one that we know listens to it.
Yeah. Okay, who's your most controversial?
Who's the most controversial? Well, we've had some housewives.
Maybe Bronwyn, because she really talked about a lot of really,
she was really open about stuff, which we love, you know, but I think other people sometimes they're so conservative, they freak out.
Yeah. Yeah, she talked about how she became a lesbian and what was going on behind that. I mean, she was just super, I asked every question in the book. I'm sure you can imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, every question she
And
asks.
she's so open. She just tells you how it is. And it's
Exactly.
so unbelievable. Like you just still can't wrap your head around that she's married with 7 children and that she also has a girlfriend and that it's the new normal. It's kind of like if it works for you, it works for you. Who the hell cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something about your app.
Yes.
So if you were single,
Yes.
okay, would you like to connect with someone that you didn't get to see? Like would you be able to connect with someone just in that emotional level and you wouldn't like really care what they look like, Adam?
So when I launched S'more, it's because I had spent 10 years working for other people. And the one thing that especially women said was men are so unintentional. All they say is, hey, hi, what's up? Show me your boobs, show me your butt. And this was very transactional. And by the way, Kary, I heard about your escapades on the dating apps too. So we'll get there later.
Yeah,
But
I told them
basically,
about us playing on it.
Oh yeah.
the way that most dating apps work is it's download, delete, and you're there for a purpose. It's usually casual and you kind of get out really fast. What we wanted to do is create a community for singles to hang out in and meet people on their own time. So it was less transactional, it was more meeting people organically. And so when you delay the photo reveal of a person, it forces people to chat. So if you're truly looking for a relationship, it forces you to actually have a connection and then see, do we have things in common? Do I like the way their voice sounds? What about their favorite music? So our profiles are much more interactive. There's way more going on in S'more. It's just a place to be. And also when we launched our product 18 months ago, or actually it was 2 years ago at this point, Love is Blind was premiering the of Love is Blind. So all the Americans were like, oh my God, I want this experience. And so we're sort of the app experience of Love is Blind.
Well, I think it's great, but I will tell you, me personally, just so you know,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it would be really like stressful. Like, let's say I'm like super connecting with this person, right? And then I look at them and they're so not my type, right? Or like if they're fat
So
or
you're
they're
gonna
like
judge them by their looks.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
the truth of the matter is,
Listen,
meet all of them.
if I don't want to like, have sex with someone, I
Yes.
mean, they might as well be my friends.
But I agree. But that's so. I think everyone agrees with that. You have to have the physical attraction. The problem is, or you know this because you just came off of dating apps. The problem is when you're swiping through these people, you're not giving them more than 1 second. And oftentimes, especially guys, they take horrible photos. He might be a doctor.
Oh yeah, we learned that.
He could be
Kary's
a
apps.
great guy, and you didn't even give him 30 seconds to know anything about him. So what happens is we end up missing such great opportunities to connect with people because we're looking so fast to get in, to get out, to get in, to get out, and we're all so single. By the way, millennials are the oldest generation in the history of this country to be so single. 50% of all millennials are still single. Yes.
That is so interesting. My husband had asked me out 8 times. I said no 8 times because I was judging him for all the things that I normally people would be judging. But then I finally gave him a chance because my dad told me to, but I never was.
Well, 8 times is my rule, but not to go say yes on a date. It's like to have sex with someone.
Oh, well, I wasn't gonna have sex with him.
This is after 8 dates.
Oh, 8 dates.
8 dates.
Oh.
Kary, we need to get into. Kary told me her craziest dating story, and I loved it. And it was a time that she first had sex with your ex-husband in the club.
Yeah.
Was unbelievable. Like she was saving herself and then this lust moment happened and it was just like, forget about it.
That was on your first date?
No.
Oh.
No. We've been kind of like already like for a couple months.
Oh, okay.
But I was like thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be so special. And then of course it was like in the bathroom and a bar.
Oh, that's fun.
That is so special.
Wait, were there police involved?
But he married me.
He did.
Hey, it must have been very memorable.
Yeah.
I mean, and also the thing is like, for Cameron, she had this thing in her mind that she could not be taller than the guys. Yeah. She put into her mind, she like probably growing up felt insecure about being so tall and she projected it on the guys that would want to date her. And she's like, nope, that's my requirement. And then I don't know what happened. She had this.
My dad. Yeah. My dad told me to like stop. And he's like, I love this guy. He's asking you 8 times. He sounds amazing. You need to go out with him. And I was like, Dad, I'm like, he's creeping me out. He's like calling me 8 times. And I finally listened to my dad for the first time. And I was like, okay.
And you know what? That is such a huge, you know, he's a very secure person
Yeah.
when he did not care.
Oh, he didn't
And
care.
that is so sexy.
Yeah.
I think one of the most sexy things in a man is when they're
Secure.
sure of who they are, and you know they don't care. Like,
Right.
hey, you're taller than me, whatever. He's like super
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's like, he doesn't
Oh,
care.
and he told me too. He's like, I only date tall women. And I was like,
And then of course Cameron told me that, you know, shorter guys have bigger, you know.
Yeah. Well, by the way, your kids are the cutest, like super, super, super cute kids. I picture very.
I hope so in case you met a shorter one, someone didn't have one.
But that's the thing. So we all have these insecurities. We all think we know what our type is. I'm using air quotes. You guys can't see, but we all think we know what our type is, and we stick to that. Yet we're still single. So when we start breaking out of this comfort zone, when we start going to a crazy Mexican bar and start having a wild night, you never know what's going to happen. We need to live on the edge a little bit, guys. We know what it felt like to be locked up for 2 years. Not good. And it's sad when you're single. And
well, who was locked up?
We were all locked up. I don't know. You guys weren't. You guys were. I saw Dallas. You guys were definitely not locked up.
Gary was dancing on the bars.
I'm like, you can put me on a leash if you tried.
Yeah.
It was, but it's, think about all those people in cities like New York where it's such a social city. Everyone's out all the time. And now it's sort of like this big reckoning where, oh my God, I'm 34, 35, whatever. I'm single. How's that possible? And I think so many young people had this big reckoning. What's going on? And I think what they found was that they've treated relationships as if they were disposable. Because what these apps teach you is if you have one little thing wrong with a person, there's a million fish in the sea. But what's wrong with the person's actually the cool thing about the person. It makes them unique. So it's not what's wrong with them. Those are like character flaws. I don't know if they're character flaws, but those are the cool things that happen. Or if you have a weird laugh, those are the cool things about a person.
So Adam, let me ask you something. What has been your success rate on couples staying together and on s'mores?
I think very, very high. By the way, I used S'more when I first launched it. Of course, I'm married, but I needed to make sure that it works. So we made sure that it was good for friends and for other romantic relationships. And in the first month of launching this app, I matched with Oprah Winfrey's makeup artist, and we are best friends.
Oh, wow. So do you guys have like you and your husband, do you like sometimes have like invite a third person in your relationship?
We've never done that before.
Really?
Do you
that is
suggest that?
No, because I think that is very big in the gay community. I heard that, right?
Yes. I think open relationships are big. I think part of it is because gay marriage really hasn't been legal for a long time. And so because the world never accepted us, we decided to create our own culture, which was like more sexual fluidity, more sexual acceptance. But what I find by working at a dating app is a lot of heterosexual couples are now opening their relationship while gay couples are closing those relationships.
Really?
Interesting.
So it's a very interesting shift.
You know, I actually being in this dating world or whatever, I have found out that that's true. Like actually that's a very interesting topic we need to discuss on a whole other podcast. But there is this huge, I believe under 40-year-olds, have become very sexually fluid.
Yeah.
A lot more than ever.
What does that mean?
Sexually fluid means, it's
that
okay.
You can do a guy and a girl.
Yeah. It's
and
okay.
And you can do anything.
It's okay to have girlfriends, but then once in a while, hey, I feel like being with a guy and they're okay. We be the having a guy as a partner or inviting that third person into a relationship and girls make out with girls, and it's becoming somehow very.
Do you think it's because more people are more accepting for people to be bi now and they're more open to coming out, or do you think it's just because people want to experiment more?
I think it's a combination. I think it's the culture has been more open and it's becoming a lot more fluid. What do you think, Adam?
It's a really interesting topic, and I don't know the answer to it. I know that young people don't want to be, so Gen Zers, so those under 25, they don't like being categorized. They don't want to check a box, gay, bi, straight. They feel like that doesn't identify who they are because they're more than just a box. And so for them, when they say fluid, it's because they don't want to identify. And we see the sort of repercussions of that on S'more, because 20% of our users of our singles, they identify as non-heterosexual, 20%, which is like 5 times more than you would see on a regular dating app. And it's not because they're gay or bisexual. They don't want to identify that way. They feel like it characterizes them in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable. So by saying fluid, it gives them the opportunity to explore as much as they want.
So why did you decide to not be open?
Why did we decide not to be open?
Yeah.
I think that, so my husband and I feel like we're a very traditional couple.
Mhm.
My family we're both Jewish, but my family is a little bit more traditional, religious Jewish, and his is more reform. And I don't know. I think that I saw traditional relationships growing up, and I saw ones that never worked out, were horrible. And then I saw ones that were the cutest, like 70-year-old couple that are still together, and they love each other more than anything, and you don't understand how that's possible. And that's what I wanted, and I think that's what a lot of people want. So yeah, if things have just they work for us. I don't know. But
I definitely completely agree with you, and I am super, super traditional as well. And concerned, there's no way I could share the bedroom with someone else.
No.
There's no way. I know Cameron likes to a little bit.
Who's more? So Cameron's more conservative, basically, of the bunch.
She likes to invite fancy.
I like to invite gay men in.
Yeah, she likes to have her
they're just pretty. So
she likes to watch court.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. What about your guy?
She doesn't have to do the work. Yeah. She's like, this blowjob is too complicated. I'd rather have somebody else get that out of the way, and then I'll just take over from there.
Yeah, I'm too high maintenance.
But Cameron, if you told court, hey, I'm open to exploring different things, would he jump on that, or
he'd flip? He's too conservative and traditional.
Yes,
he would flip. Yes, he doesn't like
your guy?
Bringing toys in or anything like that. That's just not happening.
No. Huh?
What about your guy?
Oh gosh, he's such a no. He
Is
actually
he conservative too?
Super conservative. Yeah, I mean, he's actually not. He's moderate in like his politics or whatever, but you're talking about in the bedroom, very conservative.
Okay.
He was very I don't know if I give the vibe that I'm kind of wild or something.
Oh, that is
because
so funny.
No,
you don't get the vibe at all, Kary.
You give that vibe. I would be scared. I would be scared if I were him.
Yeah, so he was very much like, I do not like to have threesomes. I do not like.
He said that like straight up.
Oh, straight up.
Like, are these normal combos to have like straight up? Is that important?
I think so. I think if you
had these
conversations, then your relationship it's like strange a bit, right? Because you should be open about how you feel about things. But Cam, I want to know from you. So how do you keep it spicy in the bedroom? If he does not want, is he scared of toys? Is he scared of what's the?
It's always different times of the day, and
she likes to wear very kinky clothing.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. No, just kidding. No, yes. I mean, he does like that when I switch that up.
The lingerie.
I get a little lazy, but yes, I gotta spice my game up with some cute outfits sometimes.
Listen, we already got she has a lot of homework.
There's all different ways. There's all different positions, all different, things.
The O shot,
I've not done that shot.
All the toys we have to go buy.
I know we have such a list.
I know. We need to go buy the bullets.
But I think you should, what you should do, Cam, you should go home with a basket of toys and be like, hey, the only reason I have this is because we interviewed a toy company. Just bring it home.
That's a great idea. I got him free. It's a collaboration.
Oh, you should see all the stuff that we get that is like.
But you need to.
Did you get all those bullets that you put up your vagina?
And you got free bullets?
No, they're like these little bullets. They're supposed to be to make you really wet.
Where did you get those?
Oh, from the commercial we do?
No, I didn't get
Wait,
you did. The supposed.
I didn't know that's what it was for.
Of course.
Oh, I did get those. They're in my cabinet.
I think what you need to do, you have to bring home a basket of it, and it's homework, right? And be like, hey, so this is all the weird stuff we got,
lots of weird stuff.
Opening boxes, you'll start joking with it, and then you'll find something that doesn't look too intimidating, and that's where you can start.
Maybe I
Yeah.
need to get you some presents for your birthday. Be like, look what Kary
Oh,
got me for my
great.
birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
is she-
keeping you at the group lunch.
Yes.
One of you guys on your show
Brady
gave
drank out the
someone
back.
vibrating panties. Was that your show? You gave vibrating panties to someone?
That wasn't me. Who was it that was it Brandy?
Oh yeah, somebody.
Somebody on our maybe Stephanie.
That is actually one thing that I kind of that is actually my bucket list.
I made
that-
sparkle panties. How did you decorate the panties for Brandy?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Oh
There
no,
was
you
no
just put a
vibrator or
hole
something.
in them.
Yeah, mine had like a hole.
Yeah, for the back.
Well,
Yeah.
Or the back.
Okay. Okay. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is someone like if someone has their profile up? What are good questions or like what's good information for them to display on the dating app about themselves? Like, what's a good thing to attract people to come?
Well, I will say from a guy standpoint, regardless of whatever your sexual orientation is, men tend to start conversation. So the majority of men start a conversation by saying hi, hey, or what's up, and 75% of women do not respond.
Whoa.
So that's a really big number. So we know that the guys do the whole spray and pray approach. It clearly does not work out. So if you're going to use the same message, at least copy and paste a real message to someone so it starts a conversation, because ultimately they're not going to chat back. But I always say on your profile, you don't want to make it sound like this is LinkedIn, right? You want to make it sound like you're an actual 3D person. And so say things about yourself like, your favorite movie, or my craziest food is I love eating tacos and I like pastrami tacos. And this, restaurant down the street does it my special way, or just something that's a little bit more unique to you instead of saying, I love Bridgerton. Like, who cares? Give me why you like Bridgerton, or maybe you relate to a character on the show, or you can't believe she did that kind of thing. You need to give them a taste of your personality, because someone only will spend 30 seconds with it at max. Mm-hmm. So in that 30 seconds, give them 3 sentences that show how you're different from someone else. And if the app allows you to record a voice, a response to a question like S'more does and other apps do as well, make sure you do that, because voice is even sexier than photos.
So set yourself apart.
You have to.
So Cameron said, like when I communicated with people, whenever they said anything to me, my response pretty much every time was, I don't have time to be texting back and forth. So if you want to have a talk with me, let me know. If you want to talk on the phone with me, like I'd never wasted time texting back and forth with anyone.
But the thing is, like, most women don't want to give out their phone numbers because a lot of guys can be sketchy. And so
but you can talk through the app.
Exactly.
All the apps, you can just call them through the app. So they never get your, you can even FaceTime on the app.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That's what I would do. So video calling on the app. We also, so on S'more, our version of that is called blind video dating. So the first 5 minutes of the conversation, you can't see the person and there's a timer. And after 5 minutes, it slowly unblurs, because what happens is, and what happened for many, many years, guys on video dates would pull their pants down. They literally would get naked. No way to moderate my video. Yeah.
That would be so fun. I would love to see all the different penises.
But most women don't like that. Kary is not a score D, but
I would automatically think that they're exposers if I like.
Well, clearly. I'd be like, you know what I would have done if that would happen to me? Like, oh, your penis is really ugly. Never mind. I'll talk to you later.
There is a crazy show in the UK, and it's basically there's picture like 6 or 7 guys in these boxes. Okay, it's on stage, and they're all different colors, and they're naked. They're naked behind the boxes.
No.
It's dating naked or naked attraction, whatever. So there's 7. So picture 7 guys in these boxes. They're fully nude.
Yes.
If it's a woman looking for a guy, the woman on stage is fully nude. Every part of her body. This is on regular cable TV in the UK. Okay. There's a host of a show. He's clothed or she's clothed, and the person's asking questions to everyone. And every time they answer in the positive, you can see their feet. You can see a little bit more. And she eliminates one.
No.
And it's a fully naked person, fully naked. So at one point, you're just seeing everyone's genitals.
Oh my God. I
No.
wonder if they get if they're like are turned on or not.
Wow.
I mean, it is. And talk
Imagine
about
on TV.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
there's no blurring on the TV,
Okay,
right?
listen.
no, fully nude, like 100% nude. It's
I can
it's a crazy concept.
Okay, I can barely like I'm pretty shy with me being naked actually. Like with when I'm like if somebody and like even if I
Yeah.
am dating somebody whatever,
Yeah.
it takes me a while to want to be like
Yeah. Well,
like
even when we share a room, we take turns in the shower. We
Yes.
don't like go in
walk
together.
around naked.
Some of our friends go in
Yes, like
with
you-
us, and we're like,
yeah, like okay, if I'm
Like,
if I'm dressing in front of
yeah.
a friend, I may like take off my shirt and then put something
Yeah.
else. Like I don't just go
Which is
completely-
shocking because you have the best body on the planet. This one right here.
Guys,
No, whatever.
But I get
when you're
better than
done-
that.
when you're
No.
done this, Google Naked Attraction. Watch the trailer of Naked Attraction in the
You have
UK.
to.
Make it
Full on nude.
attraction.
Yeah, we
It's
have
like American Idol. That's how big the show is. It's on season 8. It's massive.
So okay, the other question. Oh,
Do you see it?
No. No way.
okay, we're gonna watch it.
No way.
Okay,
No way.
There's no way I could do that.
No. Mm-mm.
So what is so how long have you been
Wow.
married, Adam?
Okay, I've been together for 11 years, married for 6. We were the first gay marriage by a conservative rabbi in the state of California.
No way.
No way. The first?
It was the first, yeah.
The
So
very first.
the very
Oh,
first.
That's
wow.
amazing. And how did you meet Josh? I just want to know.
Yeah. So I was living in LA. I was working and living there. And I did a charity event for one of our mutual friends at my family's house. He came as someone's guest. I was actually seeing someone else at the time. So I was kind of doing my thing. I was at the house, meeting people, and we met. And he's going to be embarrassed by this, but anyways, so he comes to the house and he's like, wow, this is Beverly Hills. This is like crazy home. Who owns this thing? And I think it was his mission to find out, who this person is and pursue. I joke about that, but it wasn't my house. So joke on him, right? So basically, we re-met 3 months later. He came back to LA for work. He was working for a luxury fashion company. So he came back to New York, back to LA. We met, and from that moment on, it was like sparks were flying. And we felt like we've known each other for so long and so much in common. And the sexual tension was there, and so much emotional connection was there. And I think when we first saw each other, there was, that we were cute, whatever. But when you started to have the conversation and how much you had in common and those shared values and those shared life goals, it was sort of like this person knows me better than I know myself from the
Oh,
beginning.
wow. Yeah.
And it's one of those soulmate kind of experiences. And it was
Mhm.
very strange because it's never happened before.
Yeah.
Um,
And then, so from then it's been
So
been
you knew he was your person right away.
Oh.
yes.
Oh, I
Love
love
that.
that. So romantic.
Yeah. So one thing about
Yeah.
Court and I is I do agree he knows me better than myself. Sometimes like I'll go to a restaurant and he knows exactly what I'll order. I don't even have to look at like I'll be in the bathroom, he knows exactly what I'm gonna order.
That's so cute.
And then like it's just like little things like
yeah.
that. I'm like, he knows exactly what drink I want. Like I could come and be like, yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
No, and what
It's
I love
just-
about Court too is like he's so lets you be you. And which is
Yes, he lets me
so
be me.
important.
and he supports my ridiculousness
Yeah.
and lets me be me.
Yeah. And that's
Mhm.
so important. That's the one thing that I know that I was my first, like my most top priority in finding someone. Because, those, like if you think back, when you've been married before and I've been married twice,
Yep.
what didn't work? And it was when men tried to control me.
Yeah.
And they
Right.
and that's the thing is like I'm a wild horse.
Yeah.
I told my ex-husband, if you want a trail horse,
You're a
you need to go
stallion.
find a different one. I am
Yeah.
not a trail horse. I'm a
Yeah.
wild horse.
Yes.
I also feel like Court's a ride or die. Court is not only does he let you be you, but even if you're wrong, he has your back no matter
Yeah.
what.
That's
yes,
true.
yes.
We've seen that on Housewives.
We have. Like even if he knows you're not right, he's gonna be like, okay,
Yes.
yeah.
But you know what? My husband's the same way. And sometimes I know I'm wrong. And I'm like, you should not defend me in this point. But he does.
Yeah.
And he will burn the house down for
He
me.
will burn the house down.
Yeah. I
Right?
mean, and
Yes.
yeah, and that's the most important thing on like that's exactly like I was like, I'm not dating anybody unless they have those qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like more
I
important
can't
to
wait
me.
to meet your new boyfriend.
Oh well.
Carrie, there's a new term called sustainable sexy. What does that mean to you?
Sustainable sexy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Huh. What does that mean?
I mean, I guess
Sustainable means recycled, right?
No?
It
Like,
lasts a long, long time.
huh?
Oh, it means it lasts a long time. Okay.
Yeah.
So the qualities of a match shouldn't only excite you today, but should burn forever, right? This person,
Yeah.
there's layers of knowing about them. They get
Mhm.
sexy over time. If you're on dating apps and you're not finding a sustainable, sexy person for you, then that's the wrong person, because you're going to have to be loving them and be with them for such a. There's got to be that onions better be very, very thick with
Yes.
lots of layers. Otherwise, it won't keep you interested.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely think that that's what I told my
Yeah.
girlfriends is like when I'm very intentional now that I was not with my last two husbands before. When I met him, I was just going more by whatever, like, how I felt at the moment. And I think now I'm being a lot more intentional at looking at, like, is this
Right.
how is this going to be 5 years from now, 10 years
Right.
from now?
Right.
Like, I don't, because believe me, I don't, if I get, I don't even know if I want to get remarried, but if I got remarried again, I don't never, like, I don't want to be at
Yeah.
this point, meet somebody and be single again in 5 years,
Right.
No.
Right.
or
You
10
wanna-
years.
You
or
want it
50
forever.
Wait,
Yeah.
could we talk about housewives and why certain housewives are single? Because
Yes.
I can't understand why. First of all, the New York wives, why are all of them single? I don't get it.
It's crazy. I know. Like, I honestly, like, it's so weird, but I do think, the housewives, there's some girls that go into it for literally just fun. And I do think some girls go into it to have their own independence, to make them stronger, so they don't have to rely on their husbands too. Right. And then they realize their husbands are crazy. Right.
I couldn't make an assessment, to be honest with you, unless I really, really know someone why they're single. I have friendships and friends that are being single for a while, and I have to really know them really well and their dating things and how they go out to really say why someone's single.
Okay,
If
so
I really don't know somebody, I have no idea why.
who's one of our single housewife friends and tell me why you think they're single?
Well,
One of yours. Who?
well, I don't want to say exact names, but it's this one girlfriend, and I think the reason why she's single is because she has, like, a lot of insecurities. So what happens is that she's trying to find someone else to fulfill her and to make her whole.
Yep.
And when you are trying to find somebody else to complete you, you are not in the right place to find somebody else. You need to work on yourself and figure yourself out and know who you are to know what you want in someone else. And what happens is, like, a lot of these girls that are still single, they go out and end up having sex really quickly with a lot of men. And because they feel like that's their power.
Right.
And what happens is that, they're like, I believe, and I'm a very big person on not having sex with a man until there's an emotional connection.
Right.
Because once there's an emotional connection, then a man is going to be a lot more invested in you.
Yeah.
And sex is going to be a lot better. And even if it doesn't work out or whatever, like, I find that if I done that, they come back after me. They want to still see me, because a lot of men don't have that connection with even a lot other men, especially very successful men. They don't have that friendship. So I think I'm big in developing a friendship first, an emotional connection, and then the physical connection should be last. And I believe that the mistake a lot of women do, especially at the beginning of a relationship, if they go for the physical connection first because they think that's their power, and it's really not.
Mhm.
And that, and also, like, the fact that a lot of women or people don't, and I mean, and listen, it happens with men too. I went on a lot of dates that I asked questions: what are you looking for? What happened in your last relationship? What did you learn from it? When men couldn't give me really an answer, and I realized they hadn't really worked on themselves, and then realized what failed, why they learn, why they need in someone else now. I mean, they're not for me. I want a very emotionally healthy person, because I feel like I'm emotionally healthy. So I feel that is the number one thing that relationships don't work and people stay single and single and single. And they blame, oh, well, there's all these men out there, but they really, who the problem is, they need to look at themselves and figure themselves out and grow and figure them out. And then they're going to meet the right person.
You guys play so
Okay.
nice, by the way, because you're not giving me names.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you, Adam, though. When is, like, how many days should somebody wait before they have sex with them? Like, you don't recommend doing that on the first date, right? For relationships.
I think it depends what your intention is. I think that if you are truly if you're looking for a fun time, go have a fun time. But if
Yeah.
especially if you're a woman, if you're looking to control the relationship, which I think women should, I think oftentimes they will feel more equal in controlling it from the beginning. And I think also men will appreciate them even more. So
Yeah.
you need to pull back some of the layers. They need to appreciate you as a human being, what you do, who you are. I think that you need to have that emotional connection as well. I don't think there's a number. I think it's probably a depth type of thing. Some people connect. I connected with my husband just the first time we met. That was it. And there was some physical stuff, happening, but like it's been 11 years. So I think it's different for everyone. But I think that if your intention is a long-term relationship, I also think that sometimes the first dates, and Kary, you know this too, sometimes your first date is awful because the man is so nervous, and so could the woman be, or the person, whatever your sexual orientation is. You could be so nervous on the first date. You're thinking about how to answer a question. You're thinking about you're living in your head instead of living in the moment, and you're sort of self-sabotaging what's happening. And so oftentimes you should have a second dinner, you should have a second date, and you don't. And what we do as especially young people, we don't give relationships a shot. We need to put in the effort and the work and the time, and not just dismiss someone because there's 10,000 other people on the app.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I agree, Cam. And I'll tell you, that is so true what Adam said. I feel like there's not a specific number. For me, is whenever you develop that emotional connection, and it can be different for everybody. Like, for example, I tend to talk on the phone a lot with people, and so I was talking on the phone, getting to know somebody. You don't have to always like necessarily be like, it's funny because this one guy I'm dating, and I said, well, I have a rule or whatever. Well, talking on the phone for 4 hours, doesn't that count as like 2 dates?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you know what? You have a point.
Right.
I think talking on the phone for 4 hours
I
should
guess
count.
you're right. Yeah. That would be kind of 2 dates.
Or,
As long as you ask the right questions, right?
Exactly.
But Cam, what you said to me a couple of weeks ago really stuck with me, because you were saying that what really attracted you to Court was how he was with his family and his mother.
Yes.
And it shows that it's more than just how he treats you, but how he.
Right.
Can you tell that story? Because that's
yeah. When I saw, when I was walking around Court's house, somehow I met him at his parents' house. We were getting something at his parents' house, and he saw a photo of his mom. And I never really had heard about his mom much, but he started talking about his mom, and he saw a photo on the table, and he goes, "Oh my God, let me show you a picture of my mom. Isn't she beautiful?" He literally said, "Isn't my mom beautiful?" And I was like,
so
oh
sweet.
my God, like you're talking about your mom like that? Like what guy sits there and talks about his mom being beautiful? And I'm like, most girls would be like, oh, that's freaky. But for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, he is, so, loving to his mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope he talks about me like that one day.
And I'll tell you one thing, I totally agree with that. And right now that I'm dating, like also like older men that have been divorced, most of them, is also how they talk about their exes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Because I will tell you one thing that I have noticed is like whenever I go out with someone and they're saying so much trash about their exes, and they completely, that's like not attractive at all.
Yeah,
FYI, guys out there, like that is not turning any woman on.
Yeah.
Like it's so nice when I talk, like whenever I go out with guys, and you know what? They find positive things to talk about their exes.
Yeah.
It didn't work out, and they don't focus on the negative. They focus on the positive, and they get along, and they have moved on. And that is also a big sign of how people, how emotionally stable they are.
Yes. Okay, Adam, I have a random question for you.
Yeah.
What is this question's from your question list. What is one thing you always take on a date with you?
One thing I always take on a date with me. Well, I'll say the number one thing that people say on the show, which is obvious, but it's either mince or gum or Listerine strip, because if the date's going well and you're going to end in a kiss, whatever you're eating, or if you have dry mouth, that all is not going to end up in a good situation for you. So guys, make sure you have some chapstick or keep your lips moist. It's not only the woman or guys, girls, or whoever you are. Keep your lips moist. Have something in your breath that makes it smell good. We also have
lips.
Exactly. And we also have this one woman said to us, she puts perfume on her head because she likes the man to look down and smell her from above.
No way.
who's embracing her. And I love that because smell really does matter. It's one of the senses
I'm gonna
of
put mine under my chin.
yeah.
On there.
You can put on your boobs. Just spray your boobs a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a little lower than the
Of
boobs.
course, not up here.
Yeah.
Down here.
But the scent really matters. And I think also so many guys go way overboard with the cologne. Women have noses. You don't need to put a whole bottle on. It's a little bit much. Like spray it and walk through it for everyone. Just don't overdo it on the
Behind your
cologne. But
ears. Behind your
yes.
ears.
Yes. So what is the craziest dating story that you
Yeah, I
have
was
heard of?
wondering too.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the craziest one there's so many.
Pick one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So one that was crazy was from Elise Slane from one of the Housewives of New York. She was Ramona's best friend on the show. So she was on our show and she talked about, well, also, yeah, I'll give you two. So that was the first one. She was on a blind date with this guy and they were going on a picnic in Central Park. So this guy shows up, he has a Great Dane and a picnic basket and they're meeting at the entrance of the park. So they meet and they're walking. And the dog, the Great Dane, takes a big, huge crap in the middle of and it was a Great Dane in the middle of the walkway. And in New York City, you have to clean up after your animals. And so he didn't have anything. So he took a leaf off a tree and attempted to scoop up the Great Dane's crap with the leaf. It went on the side of his hand and he threw it out and she saw a chunk of poo on his hand.
Oh,
No.
She starts to get really just not feeling well and whatever. Anyways, they continue to walk. They get to the spot that they're in. They open up the blanket. He opens up his picnic basket and he realizes that he forgot utensils. So he goes in, he gets the chicken. He said the chicken looked gray. And because he didn't have utensils, he took his hands and broke the chicken in two.
Oh my
No.
Okay.
No.
He put the poop pan
I can't
chicken
even know this.
on her plate. She was mortified. And then the Great Dane pissed on her on the towel, on the blanket while they were there. And she said it was the worst date of her life.
Oh my
And
God. Oh
Well,
my God.
oh, that is bad.
That's
it was really bad.
wow.
We had Alexis Napala on from The Real Housewives of Miami. And so if you guys are following Miami, by the way, I'm obsessed with Miami this season. It's so good. It's on Peacock.
Oh,
I have to start too. I haven't seen
yeah.
it.
I love the Miami girls from their previous season now. I love them.
So Alexia was on previous seasons, but it's so good. Anyway, she came on our show and she talked about dating this guy who now she ended up marrying. So she's on her first date with this guy. She goes out, she comes back at 2 a.m. and she realizes that she left her phone at home. I guess the date was great. Realizes she left her phone at home and she doesn't have the keys to her house. And so her house is 2 gates. They have an outside gate. And then once you go in, there's a courtyard and then her actual door, her house. So she told the guy, she's like, you have to jump over and open the door on the other house. You have to break into my house because I don't have my keys. So he's trying to break in. And finally, he broke into the first door. I think he jumped over the fence and got in from their side, but he couldn't break into her house. So then he says, well, I can't break in. I don't know how to do it. Just come over to my house. First date. She says, I'm a woman. Absolutely not will I go home with you, but you could bring me to a nice hotel. Okay. Anyways, what happened was she was able to get into the house, but it's a crazy dating story that her first date, her guy's breaking down the fence, breaking down the door to get in. And now 2 years later, they got married.
Oh, I love it.
That's
Cute. I love that.
Really cute first date story. And then there was this other woman that was on our show. She was on the Kelly Clarkson show and she raises money. She's a really great Instagram account. She raises money for women who don't have the means to support their children or are going through, stressful things and just need sort of emergency money. And she raises so much amazing money. Her name is the Black Fairy Godmother. So if you haven't had her on your show, she's a great woman to have. So anyways, I found her on from the Kelly Clarkson show. She was on our show. And I said, what was your craziest dating story? And she said, well, I went to go meet this guy for pizza. And I took a subway from Harlem and I go into the city and I'm meeting this guy for pizza. And we're walking into the pizza place and this woman approaches us and says, who the F do you think you are? I can't believe you didn't call me back, like out of a movie. You didn't call me back and I can't believe you. And she's like, sorry, I'm on a date. Leave me alone. I'm on a date. I'll call you later, whatever, whatever, whatever. He says, I'm pregnant with your baby.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I don't believe the story. There's no way that this actually happened to you on the streets of New York City. And she's like, I swear to God, he confronted this random dude who, my first date with this guy, said that she was pregnant with his baby. He wasn't responding to phone calls. What am I going to do? It's so awkward. They end
Okay,
up-
that's a situation.
That's funny.
That's a big situation. Oh my God. I'd be like, okay, yes, I don't think I'm going to go out with you again.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
But she didn't know how to get out of it. So she's now, because she's on this date. So the other girl goes away. They go into the restaurant. They sit down and they order the meal. And she says, oh, sorry, I have to go, go to the ladies' room. She goes to the ladies' room. She darts for the subway and leaves him there.
Oh, I would have been like, I would have been like, you clearly have a lot more important things to deal with tonight.
Yeah.
But thank you for taking me out. But you need to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like,
I love the I got to go to the bathroom move.
I know.
Yeah, we heard that a lot. But the thing is, so we all have crazy dating stories. And I think talking about it, Kary's craziest. She's saving herself for this amazing lover that she thinks is going to be her lover. And she ends up, having sex with him in a bathroom in a club. Like, what?
Yeah.
And I feel like were there police there? I feel like there was police involved.
No, he was my boyfriend and there was no police. It was just me and him. Nobody knew. Adam is trying to make it a little more dramatic.
Yeah.
No, Adam.
We had someone who was arrested.
It's like, that would be Cameron. She would be the police. You had sex in the bathroom.
I'd be like, Kary, are you okay in there? Kary, what are you doing in there?
We interviewed this guy.
I don't want any sperm in my toilet. I don't want sperm in the toilet seat.
Make sure you flush.
Make sure. Do you have Windex with you?
We have this guy on from the UK, and he was on and again, off again with this woman, and they were in the countryside in the UK, rolling green hills on this country road. No one was there, and they just decided they were going to have sex on the car outside in the middle of the day. It was 4:00.
On the car or in the car?
On the car. They got out of the car. They were just like, they were feeling, some people want to have sex outdoors where they can maybe be spotted, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is UK. They're in the middle of nowhere on a dirt road. They thought it was safe. All of a sudden he hears a he hears a sound like like what is that? They continue to have sex. All of a sudden, a helicopter is over them, and they're watching them have sex on the car. And
that would be like a scenic helicopter tour, and that you get that would be the extra scene you were not expecting.
Yeah.
Extra scenery.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
That's the thing too. You have sex on the beach, a crab can come and get you too.
Yes.
Listen, no, in a bathroom I call that that's like a public place,
Yeah.
But it's funny. Like I remember asking a question, is like, well, do you like to have sex in public places?
Yeah.
Which for me, a public place is like in a bathroom, locked door, like nobody, and somebody's like, well, I mean, I don't like a lot of people watching me. I'm like, no. That is not what I meant.
Oh my God. That's so funny. It's funny.
One other one.
So on that note, I think we're gonna have to go because I think Cameron is definitely feeling the mambo taxi.
I'm getting hot in here.
So much more to talk about your relationships. This is just the beginning. I feel like your show is going to take a new turn because there's a lot to cover.
Oh
yeah, there's a lot to cover. Yeah,
our show has been getting more interesting and interesting as now that it's our 50th.
It's our 50th.
Yeah.
Just wait till the 100th.
No filter on the 100th.
This has been 1 year or 2 years?
No, 50 episode. Today's our 50th episode.
Yeah, how long has it been? Has it been 1 or 2 years? 2 years.
No, it's been like a year.
Well, we started.
Let's ask our Tommy.
Still,
how long have you been doing this?
How long have we been filming?
Let's ask our producer. We have no clue.
It feels like
December.
December. Actually, no.
No, because we had Garrett before that.
That you were recording video.
Oh,
no
video.
No video. Just podcast.
Sorry, my apologies.
A year and a half?
A year and a half.
A year.
A year and a half. There you go.
Yeah.
But Adam, we absolutely love having you.
I know.
And we would love to have you again.
In Dallas too.
You want?
And if you come
Yes,
to Dallas,
I'm
we'll have you in
coming.
person.
I'm coming to Dallas for you guys.
Yes, to have a mama taxi.
Make sure if you come to Dallas and see us, you've got to bring Cameron your favorite sex toy that she needs to use in the bedroom. And then we're gonna have to quiz her on it.
But I'm gonna bring you something that's not
Over.
scary. It'll be very like vanilla, so you can get. I still think the gift basket. Just bring home a lot and say, hey.
No,
look
but
how-
we want you to bring her your favorite.
Yeah, and then you have to bring her
Yes.
X-rated,
Oh,
the most dangerous item.
oh. Okay, and you promise to use yours?
If mine's like PG,
Yes.
I'll do PG. You do like X.
Okay, and we have to use them.
Okay. Deal.
Deal?
Deal.
Okay. Deal, Adam.
Yeah.
So doing this, guys. I should really do this. Okay.
Now we're in trouble.
Yes,
He's really
and then he's gonna have to have us on his show, and we're gonna talk about it.
And we'll report on what happens, and if the guys
Exactly.
were more turned on, and you're really into it now. Which I think you
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you better start thinking of our sex toys for
Yeah. Yeah. Carrie
my
Schwarber.
world.
I know.
You got it.
X-rated. Yep.
Okay. Well, Adam, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for
and
joining us
we
and
love
say
you.
hi to Josh for us.
Yes. and can't wait to see you.
And tell all of your viewers if they're single and ready to mingle, make sure you download S'more and check out S'more Date on Instagram, because you can see all of our 200 celebrities talk about their craziest dating stories, which will entertain you for over 100 hours. 100 hours of content.
Yes,
Yes.
guys, it's really an
Yes.
amazing app. And Adam, I was gonna be on his dating app, but he never contacted me to do it, so I had to find my own.
Do you remember on the boat?
Just sign
We,
up.
we FaceTimed a guy in for you, and you
Yes.
FaceTimed him on a date, kind of.
Yes, we actually message each other still a little bit on Instagram, like as a friend. Yeah, we
That
did.
guy, okay, so introduce him to Cam, because that guy has a private jet company. So if you need to get some travel somewhere in your own private little jet,
Okay, good to
Oh.
know.
Yes, and
Yeah.
the problem is that we live in two different places, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I need
He is
I need a local person.
he
Yeah.
owns a plane company though, so just saying.
Well, anyway, Adam, good to see
Oh,
you.
good to see you, Adam.
And bye, guys. See you next week. And Kam and Kary to Dallas.
Yay.
Take care, guys.